Hi everybody, welcome to Two OGs Hook and Stitch in Island Style. I'm Antoinette, your hostess. This is a channel about knitting, crocheting, Tunisian, yarn reviews. I do occasional lives, occasional giveaways, tutorials, and that's what today's video is about. This is like a introduction video before I go down to the table to do actual tutorials. So what are we going to be doing? I'm going to start to try and do a series on different knitting, either stitches or techniques. And this one is going to be starting with cables. Now, I'm currently doing two projects with crocheted cables. It's the first time, and I'm struggling. I struggled when I first started doing cables and knitting, but overall I find knitting cables personally easier. Now, there is a variety of tools that you use doing cables. There are those that can do cables without using a cable needle. And there's plenty of videos out there. And there's lots of videos about doing cables. I'm just showing you how I do my cables. I love cables. I love the look of them. I think they're very beautiful. Particularly like on a cardigan or a jumper or a sweater, whichever you refer to it as. I just think they're very lovely. And I've done quite a few patterns that I have shown on the channel with cables. I have some of my favorite designers of patterns that I have done showing one. Designers write their cables different. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to find out if there's an industry standard for writing the cable abbreviation in a pattern. When you are doing a pattern that has cables, there's usually there should be a key, stitch key. It'll say, it'll have C4F, cable 4 front. And then following that will be what to do, where it says, it'll say slide two stitches onto the cable needle, hold to the front, knit the back two stitches, then knit the 2 from the cable. And that's just one type of cable. And that particular cable can be written a couple of different ways. I'm going to show you, like I said, the patterns. We're going to go down to the table when I go to do that. But right now I'm just going to show you some of the different types of cable needles there are. And then we will get right to doing the tutorials. But I just wanted to do an introduction to the video. So, cable needles can be made out of plastic, metal, wood. These are some of the various ones, and they come in different sizes. These are some of the various ones that I have. Just trying to show you here a little bit, so it's a little bit organized for you, so you can see the difference in the sizes. Okay, now these ones here, I got at the dollar store, and they work just fine. You don't have to spend a ton of money on cable needles. This is one type. And when you put your stitches on, your stitches will usually sit down in here. And you're able to slide them on. You do your cable and then slide it off. And you can just let it hang there. But you can see they're in different thicknesses. When you're choosing a cable needle to go with your to do your cables with, I try to stick close to my needle size, or as close as I can get, with just slightly bigger cable needle, only because it makes it easier getting the stitches on and off and getting my knitting needle in there to do the cables. But that's one type of cable needle. These ones here are just a little different. Now some are plastic. One's metal and the other ones are plastic. See? And you can see the different sizes. Again, it's just a personal preference. And also, the material that your cable needle is made out of is just like choosing your knitting needle. What kind of fiber are you using? Some are really slippery, like a silk or a bamboo. So you might want a plastic or wood needle that has a little bit more grip. being that if you use a metal needle and you go to, put your stitches to the front or to the back, I've had my stitches literally fall off the metal cables. It was too slippery. So it's another type. The other type I have is a hook or a J cable needle. I only have a couple of those. These are what those are like. And you would slide your stitches on there, and you can just let it hang just like that, front to back. And then if you don't have any cable needles, and they do make cable needles like this, I have my sock DPNs. You can use a DPN. You can use, and they do have cable needles that are just straight cable needles. Different companies make them. But if you don't have any cable needles, you can use a DPN. Now, you don't have to pay a lot of money for these cable needles because they're very inexpensive. Like I said, I went to the dollar store and got them. They were $1, $2, not more than that. And usually it'll come in a set of 2 or 3 or 4 in different sizes. So, besides your yarn, your knitting needle, and a pattern, that's what you would need to do a cable. So, I'm just going to upload this, and then I'm going to get ready to start the tutorial. That's on my camera. My camera doesn't hook to my computer, so making sure I stay in focus and everything. It takes a while to do it, but I will get it done and get it up today. And the other thing I have to go do is I'm doing the drawing for the Granny Squares gift away. I'm going to do that right now and upload that before I start my tutorial so we know who the winner is. So remember, hug, smiles, and happiness. Pass it on. Make the world a better place. I hope you're staying safe, healthy, and you're happy, and you're doing what it is that makes you happy. Bye for now from Deer Island, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you all.